Yes, hello people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that... Welcome back to Chelsea News, the never-ending series here on Football Therapy, where we reflect on what's being said in the headlines by reporters, journalists, fans, managers, etc., giving you my opinion on it. More importantly, as always, asking for yours, mate. Today, we are learning English with Jan. We're talking about what Pochettino said in his press conference. That's right, a pre-match press conference, I guess? Yeah, I mean, it is a pre-match. I don't think they spoke about the game much, but he was asked relevant questions regarding Chelsea, and that's what we were interested in. So Scott Trotter of Football.London has written what he said there. We're going to go through and pick out what we find relevant and dissect and discuss it. Also, a update on Conor Gallagher that makes me feel better about things. So, strap yourselves in. I hope you're ready for a good time, baby girl. Please do drop a like to show your support, and you are, of course, as always, welcome to subscribe to this channel. Whoever you may be, because we are the famous CFC. Anyway, I'll stop the chant there. Starting with Conor Gallagher, Cy Phillips is aggregating here on his Twitter. From Sky Sports, West Ham are interested in Conor Gallagher, but Chelsea value him in, listen, well in excess of £40 million sterling. There we go. Not 25 million and 20 million quid, well in excess of 40 million. As he ruddy well should be. I've said it here before on a couple of occasions now, recently, yesterday, maybe the day before. He's an England international. He's 23 years old. He is a proven Premier League quality player. He's going to train hard. He's always going to give you 100%. And he's got a goal in him. And he's got what we have to, understand is English tax. If it exists, if people pay more for English players, a la Declan Rice, Jack Grealish, if that's just the way it is, then why should we be the ones to miss out financially? Granted, Chelsea is an international fan base, and many people will be thinking, this is a peculiar thing, charging more for English players, and we don't necessarily think this is right. I don't disagree with you, but what you must think is right is, why should we be the only club to miss out on this additional revenue? Which I'm sure you wouldn't want for your club. Any potential departure would likely be driven by Gallagher. Pochettino is planning to have him for part of the squad next season, and Chelsea would be open to extending his dealio. Look, man, this is good. Like I said, I don't start Conor Gallagher in my 11 for Chelsea, but you bet your bottom dollar I'm happy he's in the squad if you are winning and you just want to put some high-octane legs on to press. Or you're going for a goal and you want a midfielder to be a little bit more, final third turnover, high press. He's such a useful asset. There's no one better. Than him at doing that. And of course, he's young. He trains incredibly hard. He's got lungs like N'Golo Kante. This kid, even when he starts games, he's still running the most at the end. So you got to think Pochettino's going to love this asset in his team, and we should be happy he stays. But if someone wants to drop 50 million on him, then they're welcome to. Let me know what you think about Gallagher down below. Right, Poch, our saviour, our leader, our fearsome leader has spoken. Of course, he's referenced the sad news of Levi Colwill. I spoke about that yesterday, and all sorts of stuff. So let's read what he's had to say. He faced the media at the Kenan Memorial Stadium, which was yesterday. So I'm going to read the questions and read his answers, and then we can see how we feel about them. Excuse me. Pochettino, how are you feeling about your first match in charge? Don't worry, I'm not going to do that voice for any other questions. Imagine if I did his accent. Then we'd be in problematic territory. So far, so good. So happy to be with you here. First game tomorrow. I'm very excited about our first friendly game. When you are Chelsea, all games feel official. I'm very happy to be here and working with the players and the staff, and I'm looking forward tomorrow. Good. Can you talk about Wesley Fofana's injury? Yes, so really sad, really bad news. We all feel so sad. We can only help him and to be again with the team and know it's tough. We need to help him and we'll wish him the best and he'll be back as soon as possible with the team. We need to keep going. The competition is there. The competition doesn't wait for anyone and we need to be ready to compete. It's like the opposition's there, the games are there. We need to just go. We need to sort of like, sign this one up as a disaster. And it is really bad, by the way. And I know I'm a Wesley Fofana super fan, so me in particular, this really stung. But, we've got players, like I said, we might sign a centre-back, which I kind of think is wild. If you want my detailed thoughts on that, go watch my previous upload. That hasn't done very well, probably because I put Harry Maguire on the front, let's be honest. It's a good video, though. Sometimes you just shoot yourself in the foot, So sometimes you just hit yourself. Sign some new players and streamline the squad. How pleased are you with that so far, Poch? By the way, I'm kind of adding a few words in here to make it flow better. It says, we are still working in the process to finish the squad. Now, this is interesting. This is something Pochettino has reiterated a few times. He's like, yeah, I love it. I love the owners. I love these players, but we're not done here. Like, this is the deal. This is what the owners told me. We trust it. We trust each other. I'm not getting Daniel Levy again. I trust these owners. And we are building a squad and we are not done. We are not done. And we're working hard to finish the squad. We are working really hard. We have a really young squad also. Yeah, but by the way, apparently 21 is the average age we've sent out there, which is just blowing my mind. I don't even know how that's possible. Apparently just because there's so many teenagers. That is wild, by the way. He says, I think the players are young, but they're showing commitment and they're working so well. We are so happy with the way things are working out. We need to work during this preseason to build up a strong squad first and then evolve in the way that we want to play and apply the concept. I think he's kind of saying, look, let's get the right guys, make sure they're all fit, make sure they're ready, and then sort of apply the tactics a little bit more as we go. But when we know they're useful as tools, ready to go, and then we can apply the tactics. Any insight of a bid being rejected from Moises Caicedo? Well, you can't imagine much is going to come out of Poch here. All the teams working very hard to get what we want. I don't want to speak about specific names because the most important things is who we've got with us. Very diplomatic, Pochettino. Like us, many clubs are working to sign a player that can improve their team. I need to clear my throat. I'm not talking about a specific name because I don't think that's respectful. And in a way, I'm happy he said that. If he started going, oh, I love Caicedo, that would be disrespectful to the selling club. Lukaku, Aubameyang, Ziyech, and Hudson-Odoi. Can I ask about them coming to the decision for them to stay, as in back at Chelsea? It is the club, of course, Pochettino says, and it's an interesting situation. I agree. What's the type of the situation? Because we all agree. So the players and the club working to find the best solution. I'll translate that for you. He's saying the players, want to go and we want them to go. So we've left them back there and we're trying to sell them. That's essentially what that means. So were you open to bringing in Romelu Lukaku, Pochettino? And he says this, it's obvious the decision had been made on the side of the player also, which is his way of saying Romelu is absolutely not interested in playing for Chelsea again. Well, also saying we don't want him and the fans don't want him either. He's saying he's sort of like laying it on Lukaku, saying we act in the consequence of this decision by Lukaku. The club and the player are in the position that they wanted. How big is it a problem for the injury for Fofana to your squad building? Yeah, and here's the sad moment again. It's obvious that we all feel sad for him. After that, because it's a player that's important for the team and the squad, of course now we need to think and see if we keep... Hold on. Mia, come on then, you little turd. If we keep who we are or if we need to bring someone in, it is not sure. So that is wild. Even Pochettino is sort of claiming that they are considering... Don't you dare bite that cable, right? Even Pochettino is saying they're considering bringing in a new centre-back, which I think's wild, bro, because we've got 4 centre-backs. One minute. Right. Yeah. Found a screw. Where did you find that from? That's wild to me. Like, I think Thiago Silva, Trevoh Chalobah, Badia Shield, and Levi Colwill should be enough. But seemingly, no. I guess maybe they don't trust Trevoh Chalobah. but I thought he'd be like prime, raw material for Pochettino's coaching. But what do I know? Is it tough to prepare a squad with so much building yet to do? He says, yeah, it's a challenge. It's something we knew that when we were coming in charge of the club. Nothing to complain. It's an exciting moment trying to build for the club, build in a different way to operate. Of course, we are confident we have a good squad and we're ready to compete for big things. Yeah, also, we've done good work for him so far. Granted, this is not the full squad that he wants, and he's expecting more players. And like he just said before a minute ago, he's reiterating the fact that the squad's not done. But at the same time, talk about trimming the fat and trimming the players that don't want to be here. It's pretty incredible work so far, you'd have to say. He talks about the Messi, which we're not interested in. Still requires some building, a lot, but there's a lot at left back. How do you assess the competition with Ian Matson's return? So, of course, Ian Matson, we feel like he really fancies Pochettino at left back, and perhaps over the likes of, Mark Cucurella and stuff like that. So let's see what he says. He says, it's a place where there is cover. Lewis Hall can also play there, or as a midfielder. I'm a little bit disappointed he mentioned Lewis Hall, because we're short on midfielders, and we've got left backs. He is a midfielder, but he's been farmed out at left back. Granted, he did a really good job there, and that's probably done him like a disservice in a way. Like, the games against Man City and whatnot. He's probably our best player on the pitch. And the 18-year-old, though he's a midfielder, wants to play midfield. And when you see him play left back, he sort of cuts into midfield. But then again, that's like modern day football tactics, isn't it? Inverting fullbacks, going into midfield. So we also have Mark and Ben Chilwell. So we have cover in the position, but there's nothing guaranteed. Ian and Lewis are younger. Mark and Chile are experienced players. We will see what happens. The competition is good. Yeah, look, Chelsea are always good for left back, whether it's Azpilicueta, Chilwell, Alonso, Emerson. We've had like 4 left backs on the books recently, and I'm pretty wild. He spoke about leaders. Of course, this is a big talking point at the moment. Who's going to be the captain? I'm not going to read what he says here because he just goes on. He's pretty loose and doesn't talk about individuals, but he talks about leadership and young players and everyone taking the role of a leader, which is great. This is interesting. You've had conversations you needed with Mudryk and Colwill. Could you share how you will get the best out of Mudryk, and do you reiterate that with the other? And do you reiterate that what others have said, Colwill is not for sale? So he's saying, look, how do you get the best out of Mudryk, and is Colwill not for sale? He says, I've spoken to the players a lot, all of them. Mudryk also, because he was in Barcelona for a few days. We exchanged messages. We were talking for the last few days. I found him he's a really good kid with amazing potential. The most important thing is we need to earn from them is their trust and confidence in us, which is a great thing to say, by the way. Not like, oh, they can't prove themselves. He's like, yeah, but they have to learn to trust us, which I quite like. We are early in the relationship at the moment. They need to know us, the way we act, the way many people chat, and I'm happy with that. He's really coming in with his eyes wide open here. With Levi also, we're talking a lot, a really nice chat, of course. Always it is private. It's important they know with us what they think. They need to see that the competition is going to be tough, but they can challenge for that and have the possibility, if they deserve to be in the starting 11, very much needs to be there. Like, it's just, you think you could be starting for Chelsea, Levi? Show me and you'll start. There you go. They understand the word, and we understand what they mean to us, and it's clear that we are so happy. So tomorrow we start the competition. We'll speak from there. Are you happy to add to the squad over a long time, or do you prefer it quickly, Pochettino? I want the right profiles to come in and improve the squad as soon as possible, better than later, but we need to work really hard for the targets to arrive. Arrive today is better than tomorrow. Yeah, of course, because dude wants to like win straight away. He says like first game in the Premier League season, beat Liverpool. Like that is the target, and to do that, you need the players you want. You need your squad in your image. Do you expect Fofana to play in this season, upcoming season? I just realised this screw, by the way, just to pause what I'm saying, it's from my desk. And the cat's got it somewhere. So I think the cat is secretly dismantling my desk and it might collapse at one point. Yes, so really good news. He says, I hope, yes, Fofana playing this upcoming season. Of course, ACLs heal quite quickly, don't they? He's already had the surgery, like yesterday morning or the day before, and the surgery heals like in what, I don't know, weeks, I guess, these days. But then coming back, rehabilitation months, and then to fitness, and then you have to be really careful to reintegrate. Who knows, you might even see him like in the turn of the year. We don't know, but it's good that he expects to see him again, or hopes to see him again, and expects this season. So the average age squad is 21. Do you think you've enough experience? He basically goes on to say, look, the kids are, if they're good enough, they show it. No pressure, but they need to show it now. Like, they're going to play football in front of us. This is an opportunity for them. There's a question about Chapel Hill, which I'll skip. What are you hoping to learn from your team, Pochettino? Well, working hard to build a physical condition first, and after to develop a way to play. He's really reiterated, look, none of these geezers are fit. We need to smash that into them, and all the players are like dying of, they're really like feeling the burn currently. Understandably, and I think everyone would agree that's the priority. And he's like, then we're gonna develop a way to play, and it's important to see if the young players are ready to play, if they are ready to compete in a place for the future and help the team work for this season. It's a good opportunity for these guys to show us they are ready. Football is about to win and create good feelings. I'd agree. We've had a few of those over the years, perhaps not last season. Even if we play a friendly tomorrow with young kids, it's about the mentality. Show that you know what it means to play for Chelsea. Dig in! Eat those Wrexham players alive! I want, what's his friggin' Deadpool crying? Rob McAnally and Ryan Reynolds, I want them crying. I don't think they'd cry by losing a friendly to Chelsea. In fact, the only way someone's crying when they lose that game is us Chelsea fans, because losing to Wrexham would be nothing short of horrendous, even though it is only a pre-season friendly game. I won't be able to watch this. It's in the middle of the night, and I'm an old man and need my rest. Bless me. So, yeah. Let me know what you think, friends. I like what he's saying. It's tragic about Fofana. Interesting that he could come back before the end of the season. Double interesting that we could sign a centre-back. Again, I defer to the greater knowledge of the football coaches at Chelsea, but it really doesn't feel like we need one. Still, I'm very interested to see what happens. I like what he said about the development of the team, the players he's left behind. Like, he's just washed his hands of the guys that don't want to be here. And it just really is a new beginning. Like, this is the quintessential rebirth of a club. And let's just hope we're being birthed into a nice environment. Okay, that analogy got lost on the way, or metaphor, whatever. Still, we still try. So let me know what you think. I always love reading the comments, so thank you for leaving them. You are welcome to subscribe as always. Hit the bell if you do. And all the other good jazz. See you soon. Keep it locked. Peace.